driving by, but the place seemed empty. So I did not know that they had a movement.
Well, I'm telling you, if you know you're going to pass through Beggar, just go back. You're going to stay till tomorrow before you move, because the turnout, I wanted to record, but there was no even chance to do that because it was so huge. The turnout was huge. As if they want to leave the state and then it's like they blocked themselves or something, or they are cacked there. I don't even understand. But it's really terrible. I had my own share this morning. You know, it's always people coming to say, oh, I was in a hold up and all. But today, I felt it.
Experience it.
Yes. Good morning, Nigeria. I'm Fatima Ahmed Musa. And thank you so much for joining us. Even though Sumaya has, taken care of the newspaper review. Sumaya, let's go.
It's good to have you here.
Yes, I'm happy to have you back.
Of course, thank you. So we have a lot of things, like I said, to discuss. So there is one thing that has been becoming rampant, which as religious leaders and society, people, family in general are trying to work on to make sure that things like this stop. And we're talking about the level, the rate of divorce that is happening these days. So one of the things that we decided to put open here is for us to know the depth of the pain people go through for these things that are happening. That way we can at least learn to work towards making marriages work. So today we'll be talking about who suffers the most after divorce. We're talking about the wife or the husband. Now this is something we would truly want to hear from you, to call. We would want to hear from the women, we want to hear from the men. We want to see how we can know the pain of each other in order for us to avert getting to that kind of situations. So a divorce is possibly the hardest thing a family unit can go through. Now, the pain and suffering of leaving someone that you previously shared your life with can be devastating. And this is someone that you thought you would spend the rest of your life with. Now, research indicates that life after divorce for men is more traumatic, that's according to research, than it is for women, taking a more significant emotional toll as well as sparking physical deterioration. Statistics also show that while women initiate divorce almost twice the number, the rate of men doing so. So that means that women usually ask for divorce much more than men. That is the statistic report. Women are also much more likely to greatly struggle financially after divorce because, again, we're coming back to biology, which says man is a provider. So when a woman is already used to marriage, she has someone that will definitely take care of her. So after divorce, she suffers more financially. Now, this is particularly true if children are involved, because there will be, of course, the battle of those kids. Now, often the physical or the personal growth found by dissolving a toxic relationship is replaced with the crushing financial and emotional struggle of being a suddenly single parent. However, women tend to be much more adaptable to change during stressful times and often have a much more extensive divorce support group than men, which is true. Society, knowing that after divorce, a woman is left with less finance, especially when they're kids, tend to garner more sympathy from family, from friends, people supporting her emotionally, financially, and even mentoring. But then the men are not receiving that kind of grace also. When there is divorce, even though society tends to blame the woman more when it comes to what led to the divorce, but then the men are really, a bit ignored emotionally. People don't really check on them to be like, how are you? Because people just assume most of the time they are the one who made the decision for the divorce. But then both parties are suffering one way or another. So today we want to, of course, hear from you about who do you think suffers the most? Who suffers the most? Who is going to at least come together to, let's not even forget, I want to put the children in that midst. But then it's all about the parties involved. In Africa also, there is this situation where we so sadly use our children to hurt our, ex or, significant other, where you would see couples, right, Fatih? We've seen these situations happen where you see the divorced parents fighting over the kids, and they will do anything for custody, they can to hurt, the other person. And what best way to hurt them with choosing the kids? Because if you're divorcing, you probably have gotten to a point of you might love each other and it's not working, or you have gone to a point that you don't like each other anymore. So the only thing that both of you love in common are those
the
kids.
children, yeah.
So when a man sees that a woman is truly invested in her kids, then the only way he can hurt her, like, oh, we're getting divorced, okay, I'm going to hurt you, then he would want to take these children from her, and vice versa. We've seen celebrities come out for the guys also to cry out that the women, just because they have more financial strength and family supporting them, they would also drag these children away from the men. So that kind of situation.
Yeah, majority of the situation, like you said, is maybe they think they want to hurt each other, but I don't see it that way, because, you know, everyone is battling with the, you know, thinking of separating from their loved ones, like you rightly said earlier. So I wouldn't think at that point, you know, anyone would think of, like, let me hurt this person because if I take the children away, she's going to get hurt. No, I know a lot of people have gone through that. You know, majorly they were like, okay, let me hurt my partner because he's separating from me or she's separating from me, and maybe they are not mentally ready. You know, there are certain things that you have to be mentally prepared for it before you do it. So yeah, I totally agree with you with that. But then a lot of people said, you know, there's a reason for that, and especially if the children are little, they're still, you know, growing. Let's say you're separating from your spouse and your children, let's say you have 4 or 5 children and the oldest is 10. That may be able to understand that, okay, my parents are separating, but then it will affect them mentally.
Because
yeah, so it's not just, yes, it's not just about the parents, you know. They may be prepared for it, that maybe someday, one day, it's going to be an end to this relationship, because love fades away sometimes, and then people just feel it's not, you know, not because they want to leave, but you just feel
happen. Life
you may not, you are not there anymore. So yeah,
life changes, and sometimes life is too short. You know, for you to be in a place that you're so sad, you know, you're hurting each other. So instead, sometimes,
and you know, women tend to observe more than the men. You know, like when it comes to hurting each other, the women tend to observe more. When men hurt them, they take the pain. You know, we have a way of hiding the pain, but then some are not like that. They are always showing it. You know, it's possible that this, by taking the children, like you said,
exactly,
that would be the, okay, all these years that you've been hurting me, today is the day. Let me hurt you too.
All right, so viewers, of course, this is a time to hear from you. You know, knowledge is sharing. Please share with us. Let's hear your thoughts on what is happening. You must definitely have had 1 or 2 people around you who have suffered from divorce. Go ahead, call us or send a WhatsApp message.
We have a caller already.
All right. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Your name and location, please.
I'm Umar Abubakar from Borno Session local government.
Okay. Thank you for joining us from Borno. Go ahead.
How are you people?
We're fine, thank you.
Today.
Thank you.
My first.
Yes, go ahead, please. Are you with us, Abubakar? Oh, I think we lost him. Thank you so much for calling, and we hope that, of course, you can reach out to us more. One way or another, you have experienced, you know, divorce. It could be from family, from friend of a friend, you know, around you. So we want to know, based on your own experience, based on you watching people around you, who do you think?
Yeah, we have another call, and I wanted to say, they should not forget to send us WhatsApp messages. Hello, good morning.
Please please turn down the volume of your TV set. That way you can hear us, because we can hear ourselves through your phone.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
My name is Ali. I'm calling from Maiduguri.
Thank you for joining us from Maiduguri. Go ahead.
I think it's the last caller. Go ahead.
All right. I
think there's network problem.
Yes.
You know, it's been going on early this year, since last year, I guess. So it's kind of still hovering around. It hasn't been taken care of.
We do hope that, please, you continue to try to call us. All right, we have another caller. Good morning. Good morning. Are you with us?
Good morning, are you with us?
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, please tone down the volume of your TV set.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear ourselves. Okay, appreciate that. Your name and location,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, I'm Miracle calling for Natural City.
Okay,
thank you, Miracle.
Thank you for joining us, Miracle. Go ahead. Hello,
Okay,
Miracle.
thank you very much. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
In terms of marriage, when a husband and wife separated, I think it's like both of them suffer equal.
Okay.
Why I'm saying this is because in the first place, when a husband and wife is separated, the husband will suffer for the first place. But at last, it is the mother, that is the wife, that is going to suffer at last. Because I know that the plan of the husband when he's separated with his wife is to marry another wife. And when he marry another wife, I think the wife will not be the moment that he will get his co-husband. That is why a lot of thinking will become on her way. So thinking that maybe as the kid didn't get husband the time, I think that will be enough of worry to her. So I pray not for any marriage to separate because it is very, very wrong that it's not good.
Amen to that. Thank you so much,
you very much.
Miracle. Thank you so much for your contribution. We appreciate, what you said, which is true. I mean, Miracle made another point. Sometimes it's not about who wins, who hurts more. Yeah, sometimes both of them hurts, and everybody has his own time of growing.
Okay, so
out
we
of
have
that
another
pain.
caller, Sumaya. It's like people want to say, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Your name and location, please.
How are you?
We are fine.
I'm Monday from Akwa Ibom.
Okay, thank you, Monday.
How is Akwa Ibom Monday?
We thank God is well.
Okay, so go ahead with your thoughts.
Really, when we talk of the two parties, all of them are feeling it. Because, it's just marriage is just like when a student go to the classroom, then now you have introduced a subject, and within a short time you see that that lecturer or that teacher is no longer coming in there. And now they have brought another person to introduce, and it's a matter of methodology. So for a marriage, for a woman to leave a husband, mostly in African culture, they will be afraid either another woman to come in, they will be afraid of that man, and another man to marry that woman, they will be afraid. So they will be moving now, and people will be categorizing, talking, saying, what happened? And all of them, they must feel it for some time. They have to feel it for some time. They have to suffer it. So nobody will say either this one is more suffering than the other one is suffering. The two parties, once you have stayed when children and come together there in your midst, you have to continue cement your marriage and look into it to see that divorce should not come at the midst. Because once divorce comes in, there is a tendency that the two of you must kill one another. And that is why you see when some stay at a long time, they look at it and they come in for forgiveness to see that they come together again. So, except when there is a threat before the divorce can come in and go finally. If not, if it's greediness of money or one problem or the other that cause this very thing, they have to sit down and iron their problem and continue their marriage.
Okay, thank you so much, Monday. Thank you for that contribution. I think Monday has said a lot as well, just like the last caller. Everyone has something to say. But then, research, like you said rightly, Sumaya, earlier, research shows that men tend to suffer most. But then the children, I feel, in my own opinion, the children suffer the most because
I still
parents,
want to fight that research. I don't know. But anyway, sometimes
you know why?
might
Because
think
like I said, women, can actually absorb, like I
yes.
said, right? Yeah. So it's not like the men.
Could it be,
men have a way of hiding their pains,
that's what
but
I wanted
then,
to say. Could it be that women absorb because they cry it out? We all know how when you cry, it helps you.
And women, we nag a lot. That way, it's also a way that we ease, yeah. But men tend to
bottle it up, which we're
yeah.
in the 21st century. Please do not bottle up. We don't want our men going out to slum and falling because of a lot of worries. So yes, Monday did
so
a
we
lot
have
of conversations.
yes, so we
I
have
thought he was a lecturer.
I actually thought so too, but let's take this message. Good morning, dear Trust TV. Women suffer the most mentally, financially, and emotionally after a divorce is considered, and most especially when children are involved. A man can easily, quickly get remarried, but for a divorced woman, it takes time. May Allah safeguard our homes. Professor Abbas Raji, Abuja. Thank you so much for that, Professor Abbas. You see,
this is good. Saying that a man is saying this about women. It's not like a woman was saying it, but this is what I wanted to hear. I wanted people to call and give reasons for why they think
women
things happened like this. Yes. So
and the main question is, like you said, right? Why is it that the women always tend to seek for divorce twice as much as men do? Because like I said, a woman gets a limit, she can absorb for the next 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah, but when she's done, she's done. And then when she reaches her limit, that's it. She doesn't accept any apology or say, oh, stay back and keep taking what you've been taking. Because
I have my
own a different thing
of why it's happening, but I would want a caller to tell us why they think women ask for divorce more.
Okay, we have a caller.
Good morning.
Good morning, yes.
Yes, your name.
Oh,
thank you so much for joining us from Niger. Okay, go ahead.
I've listened to your conversation. Issue is this. Men suffer a lot.
Okay.
One, because the whole body is in your head. A woman, even if she's receiving 1 million naira as salary, if not God fearing, you will never help. Since her thinking is whenever she has you use that money to go and marry someone. Therefore, even if you are dying, you don't care because if you die today, tomorrow you get another husband to marry. So men suffer a lot. It's still a prayer. For example, the problem with affairs in Nigeria, the man will not speak, but he will struggle to make sure he brings food to the table. And even before if they say children has finished his own, it's okay to put them. So we continue. And when you are watching villagers and also, or even in the Abuja where you are, you see a man trekking on the road. He's not mad, but he'll be demonstrating.
Oh my God, the network is it's getting bad. It's cracking up, and honestly, I want to get details of what you're saying.
Yes, because I think he's.
Are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
From there, a lot of men that die on the male is problem of women, and some of these men don't care. They don't care. Yes. And they don't even feel it. Because they think tomorrow they can go and marry. That is the problem. So my own take is men suffer a lot, not depend on women. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I wanted to hear that there's a bit of gap in what you said, but then one thing he made mention was sometimes you see a man walking down the street and
talking to himself, and
because you're wondering, what is happening. But truly, he also made mention that sometimes society just assume a man will remarry. so they don't know
but then
what
some
he's
of them
exactly
actually
going
find it difficult to remarry.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
so
So definitely, research doesn't lie. Research have shown that men suffer more, and it's something that we are seeing. So we agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
There are things that when we ignore them, thinking they're strong, we don't know that they need coping mechanism, and that is what is going on.
Okay, so I think we have another caller. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your TV. Yeah. Are you with us?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please.
I've been watching. Yeah, I'm calling from Abraka.
Okay. Abaka, okay. Your name, please?
Oh,
Abraka.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Actually, yes. Actually, I just want to drop a little advice because I am a victim of this issue. All right, and I'm a young man. I'm not given from anywhere. I married. The marriage was just 6 months. The woman left. You understand? And the family supported her. I called the family several times, and several times I told them the whole lot. They supported her. And the woman in person, keeps relationship outside to an extent of bringing condoms and the whole lot to the house. Then she left, stayed almost a year, got pregnant. Why I became interested in this matter is, I think I had, during the comment session earlier, when they were reading the headline, the woman got pregnant and came back and stuff like that.
Yes, front page.
She got pregnant. Yes, she got pregnant, came back to the house with police to come and pack properties and a whole lot. Now, after I and my family allowed her to take her things, she took everything in the house. Everything, shut that the house like as if we are packing out from that compound. My house became empty to an extent of taking curtains, taking the rope that we used to spray cloth outside and a whole lot. The house became empty. The next week, she put up a letter for dissolution of marriage. Now, another letter of dissolution of marriage. Meanwhile, before she came this one, she came with police road petition, and I'm a kidnapper, this and that, whereas all were lies. Giving me allegation that a whole lot. Okay, at the end of the day, she now, but when she about her taking her thing, she brought letter of dissolution from customary court. All right. So during this process, the court now asked her to bring wedding certificate so that they will know if that court had a jurisdiction over the marriage. Now she now went and brought a fake marriage certificate. When she brought the fake marriage certificate, I was still looking at her. Now my advice is, the judge didn't hear from me. They granted her the divorce. My own advice in this issue is, let the government, if in case something like this comes up, they should not be so far to these marriages. This person, hear from this person. Do a thorough investigation. Invite people to look into it. Invite both families. She was not appearing at the court only by herself. And anything she said, they will just believe because she's a woman. And the judge that handled the matter, my two, even when I told them that she's pregnant, the judge said, you want to sue her, go and sue her in another court. I am an Igbo man. All right? Ask me about the bride, then they should send it to the village. If I should collect the bride price, that means I am the one that sends my wife home. And I told them, in our culture, I am not supposed to touch the bride price. For the part she left by herself and she said she doesn't want, I will not touch it. Let them look for a way and set the bride price to the home. What the judge opened her mouth and told her in the court, that she should pay the money in the court account. I should go and collect Stella from the court and send to my place. And I asked the woman, would you respect my Lord? The first thing where they marry a woman is a Stella or a child. He has custom. But the fact I am concerned, that money have not gone through to my family. My family still thinks that I'm married. And I'm
That's a really sad situation. I mean, I feel really sad for you, and I hope that, of course, you would grow out of that pain, because from everything you're saying, there's been step by step of hurt, you know, in that place. I am sorry for what you're going through. I hope that you heal. Always put yourself first, you know. At the end of the day, just like you said, you did not ask her to leave. So if she wanted to leave, then you let her go. And I hope that you heal from your pain. I mean, one thing he kept saying is the advice is the court should hear. Federal government should
tend to hear from, you know, the other party before making decisions.
Exactly, because when marriage break, it's not just
one-sided.
There's always why it happened.
There's
and
a story
one
to the
person
both,
is always blamed for why it happened. Yes. So on some situations, the women are blamed, on some the men. So right now it seems that he is to blame. So everyone is
because they didn't even get to hear from
him.
Yeah. So let's take a look at this message. Good morning. Woman suffers more than men because during the Iddah period, according to Islam, she has to spend at least 3 months for Iddah period before she even does anything. And during this Iddah, she will suffer better. She will suffer the most, I think. From Sani Yunusa Zual in Tafawa Balewa, Bauchi State. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Sani from Tafawa Balewa. Yes.
Okay, so right now it's like a clash. One person is saying men suffer based on his own experience.
You know, there's going. You know, the question is it the men or the women? So you know, there are people that will, you know, go against and for.
And,
you know,
and what Sani said is coming from the
religion aspect of
Islam,
it.
Where 3 months you have to stay away from even seeing any man. Exactly. And if you're pregnant, then you have to stay until you give birth. Before you can even start dating again.
Islamically, you know, it's not even advisable for you to divorce your wife when she's pregnant, you know, except otherwise, which I don't have a say on that. But then it's not even allowed or advised for you to do that. You have to wait after she has given birth before you can do that. So
that could be made. But it's a really sad, you know, situation going on out there. At the end of the day, we want to understand the pain of both parties, because if you are, which we hope nobody is, in the middle of thinking, considering divorce, then know that one way or another you would hurt each other, and that is the essence of this topic.
Okay, on this issue being discussed, I think the person who suffers the most is the one who loves the more, and also the one who is not initiator of the divorce. And since, like you already said, women initiate divorce more, it means men suffer more, because before the initiator initiates divorce, the mind is already prepared for what is ahead.
True.
But then the other party is taken by shock and suffer mentally and emotionally, which most times affects the persons physically. True. Also, a man suffers seriously, emotionally, and for a prolonged time. But the society has placed the man in a situation he can't cry and voice out. Aboke Jesse,
I wanted to hear where you're sending this beautiful
message. I wish, we know where you.
But please, we are part of the society. We are saying men should cry.
Men should cry. We are not against saying men should. You know, remember that when we discussed, domestic violence, and men are saying, men also go through domestic violence, because you know, when you look at it, I think it's both sides that suffer. I think it's a 50-50 thing, because you literally have stayed with this person. Let's say for couples that have stayed
50-50 thing.
No, I feel
on the message,
according to
like said,
yes,
it's based on the initiator of divorce. It's based.
That's
on
why I was saying, because you've prepared your mind already before you carry it out. And like we rightly said, the research, it's a research at the end of the day. We didn't carry out the research. It says that statistics shows that women actually seek for divorce. 70% actually is what I saw. Yeah. So you can imagine they must have prepared their mind. Why? Because they tend to suffer the most, because there's this thing with when you marry a man, you are married to just one man. Men tend to have the chance to flirt around or even remarry and all, but the woman is not allowed to do that. And she's mentally, taking all that, absorbing all this pain, maybe seeing some messages and things that she has nothing to do with, So any one of the partners who triggered the divorce suffers less.
Okay,
I don't even know this message where it's coming from.
Yes, It's just saying, if you are the one who started the initiative. I mean, typically we saw this boom out. If you're keen with international news celebrities, we saw how the TV star Jenny Mai, I think Jenny Mai, and the rapper,
even Wendy Williams too.
The rapper also had issues. So what happened was it Jay? His name is, but I know there is Jay in his name. They were in love. I mean, 1 week to the divorce, she posted his book celebrating him and all that. So she was blindsided. So he was already mentally prepared for the divorce. And so he wasn't suffering
so
much.
Exactly, just like
and
the person,
she suffered a nerve.
Because she wasn't expecting it. It's a shock. It always comes as a shock to the other party when a divorce paper is sent for you to sign, or you're being summoned by the court for you to come. It's something. But then, Sumaya, I will still emphasize on the fact that the children suffer the most because the change, the dynamics of the new or the recent changes in the family, that they wake up, the mother is not anymore with them, or the father is not in the house anymore. What they tend to do as a family, it's not being, that is not happening anymore. They go to school, they're thinking if they'll come back and meet their mom or their dad in the house, maybe when they're sick, they prefer their fathers or their mothers around. Let's not forget that the children also suffer also, it's not...
Yes, the children suffer.
And there's sometimes even their peers tend to mock them. Don't forget that too.
They do
go.
But one thing, society, I've always assumed is children suffer most, and that's why they keep telling the parents, stay in the marriage, even though it's toxic,
for the sake of the children.
But one thing we'll know is that children also can grow up and get married. All right, so we have a caller. We'll come back to that. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Your name and location, please.
It's Mohammed Modibo calling from Gombe State.
Thank you for joining us again, Mohammed Modibo. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me on the program this
of course.
Today.
Please speak up, Mohammed.
Let me start by, thank you once again. Let me start by saying, if we are talking about broken marriages, I think both men and women suffer. And the rate at which marriages are broken these days, if it is being announced the way weddings are being announced, I don't think the unmarried people will get that confidence and optimism to go into marriage, because it is at alarming rate, so to speak. But we have to look at it from different angles. We have to know that we have to bear that at the back of our mind, that this marriage is an act of brothers. It is an act of worship. Don't just as a man be attracted by physical structure of a lady just because she's good at dancing on TikTok. She's good at posting her pictures on her stories on Facebook. She knows how to dress, and just be deluded by that and just married her without knowing her real family background and her attitude and her moral upbringing. We have to question ourselves and go back to the drawing board. Why is it that our forefathers, who doesn't have these social medias, who doesn't have these love books, who doesn't have these films to watch that has to do with love, whose marriages were based on obedience to their parents, not even based on love, are still living with one, they will live with one another till death. But why is it that ours, that we all do, that we beat our chest and call ourselves that we know how to, how to engage ourselves in love before getting married, that our marriages are not lasting? And the people, and those that suffer the most are the children, so to speak. The children suffer the most because the children may end up either living with the father or mother without having that parental care by both parents. And this is going to affect their psyche. And most especially the children that lives with their father. The father may end up marrying another woman, and we know how women behave these days. We have seen how they maltreated the children of their husbands. those that they are not their own biological children, they may end up killing these children. They may end up harming them, and these children may end up, even if they eventually grow up under that kind of circumstances, it will affect their psyche. Their psyche will never be balanced. They will be behaving strangely in the society. So we have to do the needful and ensure that things are done rightly. Make sure parents, they should make sure and ensure that they do proper checks before handling their own women, their own children, daughters into marriages. Make sure you know the family background of the man that is going to marry your daughter. Don't just be attracted by material things. You, the woman, don't just be fascinated by his, worldly things, the magnificent house he has, and the beautiful cars he's driving. It's beyond that. It is an act of ibadat, and you should be at the back of your mind that whatever you are going through, the challenges you are facing, you will be rewarded in the hereafter. So let's just do it. Let hands be on deck for us to get out of this mess. If not, we will end up having a society of lunatics.
Indeed.
People that are lacking parental care, people that will turn out to be stone-hearted.
I mean, we've seen that happen, Modibo. A lot of outcome of toxic home. People coming out with that kind of thing, and it also affects their own life and future. So we've seen that happen. And honestly, I appreciate what you said. You said it's like you're wrapping up the show for us. You started from the details. So thank you so much, Modibo, as usual, calling from Gombe. We appreciate your input today. So one thing Modibo said, right? All right, let's take this message before we talk about it.
Okay, so...
All right. So, I mean, before we would even get to the messages, Modibo made a lot of observation. He started from why most of these divorces are happening, and he made point of, we should go back again and start from afresh.
Yes.
There is no much research. Yes, we've seen marriages that I have seen marriages that have sabotaged barely months after because there was no proper research on the family of this person getting married.
Okay, so let's take
child.
a look at this message, even though it's not popping yet. It's from Nostasio. I don't know, the person didn't send from which location they are sending this message. He said, women tend to suffer the most because we men have the ability to cope in any situation, even if it comes with issue of divorce. And looking at the current population of women in this global era, the thing that should come to the women's mind is, if I left my husband's house, how do I start again? Finally, to me, let us all learn to exercise patience, especially in our matrimonial homes. From Tasiu, Nostasio. So he's saying that people should. His final words is to learn to be patient, because at the end of the day, the women suffer the most. Everyone is saying women suffer the most, because when they separate, you have to deal with financial struggles, fighting for custodies, and then, trying to, find means of keeping up with, certain basic amenities that these children will need.
Let's not forget societal insults,
stigmatization as well.
A woman is always blamed for the divorce.
Yes.
But anyways, there was this talk that we had with Muhammad Modibo. I wanted to talk on, dissect on that. He made mention of the main issues that we're having, from social media to, first of all, social media comes with its positive and negative effects. Yes. So we see how social media have brought out domestic violence, and I've told people that if you're there, then if it's continuing happening, then you should leave. That's a good thing, because some of our forefathers also tolerated this, and it led to their death, and nobody knows about it. That is a no-no. But then other things are competition. You see things and you want your own to be like that. Meanwhile, your shoe size is different from the others. So that kind of situation. So right now we need to go back. Our love of marriage is fading away. You see people drop on social media saying, I'm even scared of getting married. I mean, why should you? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful institution. So always have positive outlook. So Modibo said a lot of things out there, and at the end of the day, yes, there is this who suffers most. The competition would go on. If the
conversation is still going to continue.
There's children, there is a man, there is woman. It all depends on who is in that part of a divorce, that is going on. And we hope that, we never even get there for everybody. We hope everyone would, get to have the field day of marriage, enjoy it, because it is a beautiful thing. I keep saying it. And a happy home yields a happy community. And we hope that, of course, it works out for everyone.
We hope that. And we pray that, their mental, stage actually matters a lot. So yeah, do take care of your mental health, especially with this topic that we just discussed. And then do, go for therapy if you need that, because it's really, really important to get yourself back, on your feet and do the necessary things that you need to do in life. So yeah,
we're grateful for therapy coming into Nigeria. Now people are appreciating it.
And taking it serious and knowing the benefits of it.
Exactly. So now therapists are learning more religiously and also modern, blending it together to work. So please, Ariwa people, welcome therapy. Nigerians, welcome therapy. It helps one way or another. May God bless our marriages and keep all our home intact. And for those that have suffered from divorce, we wish you, strength to move forward, and hope that, of course, it stops there, the sadness there. Well, thank you so much for all of you that called, the people that tried calling but were not able to reach us. We appreciate you. The text messages that we're not able to read, and those that were able to send, we do appreciate you. Make sure, of course, you stick. Next week we'll definitely come back with another exciting topic that would get to hear from you. But then the show is not over, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, it will be time for a woman to show you, how she is changing the world. So stay with us.